So over the weekend, there were a number of new tidbits released from DHX about upcoming MLP projects during their panel at San Diego Comic-Con. And while we did get a short preview of the next episode of Season 6, new characters revealed for the MLP movie, and more than a few other intriguing elements I may be making a video on at some point down the road, today I'd like to talk about the first trailer of the next Equestria Girls film, Legends of Everfree. First off, I'd like to thank DHX for keeping much of the story and conflict vague enough to keep our interest without spoiling anything major. I don't know what it is about some of the movie trailers these days, but I worry there's a growing trend of spoiling a bit too much just to get an audience. For starters, we see the main seven on their way to a camp where a legend of Gaia Everfree is causing some magical disturbances, even to the point where at least some of the main seven start developing some new abilities they aren't quite sure what to do with yet. Now, I have to say, the Equestria Girls films have always been a give and take for me. The designs never really caught on quite as well compared to the original series, at least in my mind, but the characters are still creative and entertaining. The human world setting has lowered the stakes and interest for many people, but the inclusion of more magical elements have helped to offset that. However, while the first film had the initial hook of Twilight in a New World, the second film had the hook of Sunset Shimmer redeeming her character along with a trio of interesting villains, and even the third film had the human world Twilight interacting with the main six, I'm really not seeing much of a hook for Legends of Everfree. At least not as of yet. I'm already expecting some comedic interactions between the characters, and the idea of using more magic in the everyday does have potential. But the stakes don't seem to live up to the other films, the conflict seems pretty standard, and I'm not really interested in another villain who is overcome by the power of friendship. Unless this film breaks the Equestria Girls tradition by not having a straight-up villain. If, say, this Gaia Everfree is not using her magic for evil means, but rather just misunderstanding the intentions of those she comes across, and the main seven bring their own magic to bear and discover that their efforts only made things worse and they are the ones who apologize for misdeeds, at the very least we'd be getting a story that starts to stand out from all the previous films. In short, I'm hoping Legends of Everfree doesn't have a straight-up villain. But we'll all have to wait until October 1st to see just what the writers have in store. In the meantime, though, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the Legends of Everfree trailer. Given what we've seen thus far, what sort of conflicts, character moments, and story elements are you hoping to see most? Let me know. And as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.